And while you're here buying your train tickets, you might want to pop into this little ruch, this little convenience store, and buy yourself a tram ticket, bus ticket, metro ticket. If you have an aversion to using machines, which you can find at some of the stops, you can just over the counter buy a little bilet jednorazowy, for example. Just good for one trip. It's usually the cheap and cheerful version that I go for rather than the all-day ticket, which the rest of you might be more inclined to use to scoot around the city to try and hit all the hot spots if you planned in advance and you're on limited time here. But as I'm walkie-talkie traveller and not jump on a bus every 5 minutes traveller, although it can feel like that day to day, to be honest, if I'm travelling too fast, never a good thing. But that's just an extra little tip. Inside the main train station, unfortunately, the convenience, international inquiry and general passenger inquiry salon, I will call it, for want of a better description, that office space is all under renovation. So I could have gone there, spoke in English with people and made some inquiries such as, you know, I'm on the long road to Ukraine, I'm hoping to get across the border. As far as your trains are concerned, are you running to the schedule I see on the website, or have things had to be flexible and this train service isn't running anymore? You know, just to get a bit of information, because I might have to change and get a service which I didn't see online. That place isn't open, so I had to just go to I think it was number 16, maybe number 15, the international ticket hatch, the kiosk where the ladies sat, far right hand side of all the little hatches where the people are there to sell tickets. But if you want international, go to the far right. And there the lady kindly sold me a ticket to Ukraine, which cost, well, from the border to Lviv, €3.50. The odd thing was, that's what it said on the ticket. The actual price I paid, which I'm guessing might be because you have to pay for an extra reservation, although that wasn't clear. The actual price I paid wasn't 15 złotych, it was 35. So I paid sort of €8, maybe, €8-9 to get to Lviv from Przemysl inside Poland. And for me, that's an absolute bargain, and it's a reasonably speedy train, goes midday. I'll get there middle of the afternoon. Very nice indeed, less than 3 hours, about 2.5 I think. Perfect for check-in at the hostel. It all went too easy. Then I had to go to another one of the little ticket desks. I had to join the queue, which wasn't horrendous, and then go to another ticket desk to buy my tickets inside of Poland, so the domestic tickets in effect. And there again, like with the international ticket, I had what I wanted all written down. Use Google Translate if you don't know the words for one ticket, please. Yeah, I had my bits of paper sorted, hand it over to the lady, very kind, laughed at my accent when I was trying to say a few words I could remember of Polish, like dziękuję, thank you, dzień dobry, good day, poproszę, if you please. Yeah, it's very little that I can remember of Polish, sadly. But she worked with me, and if you meet an individual, regardless of the language barrier, if they're just, you know, what do we call people like that? Good-hearted, kind-hearted, decent human beings. They'll work with you. And if you work in a service industry, you've kind of got to be like that. You don't get them always, not every time, I know, but maybe I just got lucky. I think I tend to in Poland. Polish people tend to like me, whether it's the bald head or because I act a bit of a fool, goof around a bit. Of course, that can annoy some people, but you know, I try to just get them on my side effectively, and it's my nature anyway to be a bit of an idiot, because I am a bit of an imbecile when it comes to languages, for example. So, tickets, all 3 tickets, bought very easily, straightforward, card or cash, your preference. Wow, have I made a horrendous mistake? Did I write something down, or is this going to be a nice, smooth transition between cities and countries? Let's hope so. I've now come out and I'm going back because I'm feeling a little peckish, and I'm going back to go down into this underground supermarket just to pick up a few essentials. I don't need too much. I have a meeting with an old friend who's not so old later this afternoon, so I've got to take that into consideration. In other words, I don't want to buy too much, but just have a sniff around the supermarket, get a feel for the prices as well. Used to be reasonably priced in here, and yeah, maybe pick up 1 or 2 things. Obviously, going into a shopping mall, security will probably gun me down if they see me filming, so I don't want to be gunned down in a shopping mall in Poland. It'd be a sad way to go, wouldn't it? Instead, I'll just head underground and turn off the camera. Okay, so now I'm getting suspicious. Everything seems to be going my way. What does this mean? You know, life's a roller coaster, isn't it? And I don't know about you, but I can start thinking, hey, my health is okay at the moment. I'm buying train tickets without problems where I expected there might be. I'm going into convenient supermarkets and buying kind of things which I want to buy. They are not sort of compromises, and I'm not having to compromise on price either. When's my luck going to run out? Well, hopefully, maybe just I'm going to be lucky for the rest of my life. We can but hope. So 15 złotych, which is what, as the crow flies? Used to be about £3 British. And that covers 2 cooked chicken legs, 2 large, slightly green bananas, a bar of classic milk Vedel chocolate, and something, well, Vedel's own version of a Kit Kat, but it tastes better because the chocolate's real chocolate, not that stuff they put around Kit Kat, you know. So 2 chocolate bars, 2 bananas, 2 cooked chicken legs for £3 British. I don't think that's a bad deal. And you're right in a big tourist trap-ish type of place. You know what I mean? If they were going to mark up prices anywhere, they'd probably mark them up here, I think. But no, I think that's reasonable. Now then, I think back to the ranch, because I've got a meeting, so I'll drop my stuff off at the hostel, which isn't too far to walk, and then maybe, what do you think? Put a brush through my hair, a comb through my teeth. No, that's wrong. Brush my teeth, put a comb through my hair. That makes much more sense, doesn't it? And then smarten myself up a bit, bit of deodorant, and I'll be ready for my meeting. Sounds very business-like, doesn't it? Meeting up with an old friend over a cup of peppermint tea. Why not? I'm here for a few days so I can do the touristic stuff later. Although I'm meeting another friend tomorrow, and I've got to change hostels in a few days' time, so yeah, I won't have a lot of time to be a tourist and to film and to show you things which I like and which you might like, but I'll do my best to scratch the surface, as we say. And remember that underpass underneath Rondo Dmowskiego? Well, underneath the intersection of Marszałkowska and Aleje Jerozolimskie, we have possibly the best exchange rate place in the city. So if you are travelling with cash, or if you just need to change a little bit, this historically has been the best place to come to get the best rates. Just to give you an example, of course it can change day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. But there you've got some rates which you may consider to be competitive. So this is the place to come to. If you know of a better place, let me know, because you could save me some money. Mention it in the comments and I'll say thanks in advance. The Kebab King chain you'll find around Warsaw Central. An old favourite. This one happens to be next to a British Bulldog pub. So, for you tourists coming here and you want a traditional British Bulldog pub experience, do you? I mean, really, do you? And that's got to be a bit worrying, hasn't it? No prices posted. Yeah, that would put me off going in straight away, to be honest. Why would you do that? Surely you'd want to tempt people in, wouldn't you? By offering competitive prices. Or is that just me? And yet again, just around the corner from where we're staying on Nowy Świat, here on Aleje Jerozolimskie, passed it last night, didn't notice it coming from the train station. There's a little Biedronka, which is an inexpensive supermarket typically. Got some interesting opening hours. It's close proximity to where the hostel is, central location. It's worth your consideration. If you prefer a relatively inexpensive dining experience, and if you're a vegetarian, here we have a milk bar, Bar Mleczny. It's not like the old traditional Soviet times Bar Mlecznys, which are a dying breed. They're a cultural experience and usually serve very hearty, tasty food at terrific prices. This one is going to be a bit more 21st century. Prices won't be rock bottom, but if you're a vegetarian, it might just be a little bit like an oasis in a desert. You've even got a little terrace space outside, kind of, if you don't mind great big buses coming and parking next to you. Diesel food. I like to eat healthy. Vegetarian Bar Mleczny and diesel food. Fill your stomach and fill your lungs. I'm not sure that actually works too well, does it? Ah, well. Welcome from Ulica Szpitalna. And here on the corner is Warsaw's, perhaps Poland's, premier chocolate flagship cafe. Yes, you're going to be spending a little bit more than, okay, I'll say it, cheapskate backpacker that I usually am. But if you feel like a treat, you know what I'm going to say. If you happen to be traveling with a lady or somebody else who's special to you, this is probably the place you want to come for perhaps some coffee, some fruit tea, some nice cake, other dessert options, or maybe just pop in for a few little individual chocolates, make up a little selection as a surprise to somebody special, or as a thank you. Vedel, taken over by Cadbury some years ago, and of course the locals would say, oh, they changed the recipe and it never tastes as good as it used to when I was a kid. But let's hope the cafe tastes as good as I last remember. I've got a little meeting with an old friend who isn't so old. This was a good place to meet. I won't be going crazy, particularly with my sort of insides not being 100%, but feeling okay at the moment. So I might risk a slither of cake. Whether I risk a sip or two of coffee, I'm not sure just yet, but we'll see how it works out. See if I succumb to temptation. There is this unfortunate scaffolding outside, which shouldn't hopefully detract from your experience, even if it's still there when you come, because there's nobody working, which is great. And it's not the weekend, so depending on the weather, you can enjoy outdoors or lots of space indoors. This does get very popular though, around about tea time in particular. Should I have booked a table? Always been able to find a little spot somewhere. I'm just wondering if my friend is inside their chocolate place. I assumed they would be outside, but I know, I'll go in and have a look. And again, they probably don't want me filming inside, so I'll catch you later.